Live through the experiences of the most memorable World War I heroes. Explore the unforgettable tales of resilience, courage, and selflessness that mark the most prominent heroes of World War I. Are you a history buff looking to venture beyond the confines of common history facts regarding World War I? Do you want to explore the lives and personal narratives of the individual participants instead? Do you want to learn how the unsung heroes of the Great War cemented their name in history? Unlike most history books, this one doesn't stop at describing how a particular hero made their contribution to a prominent wartime event. Each chapter highlights one World War I actor, including their personal and professional traits. These heroes include Manfred von Richthofen. Learn how Manfred von Richthofen advanced in his military career and became the famous Red Baron. Lawrence of Arabia. Dive into the life and background of Lawrence of Arabia, one of the most famous saboteurs of the era. Nurse Edith Cavell. Take a journey through the chronicles of Nurse Edith Cavell, the Angel of Mercy. Elvin York. See how Elvin York transformed from a religious opponent to the violence of one of the most famous sharpshooters on the battlefield. Follow Eugene Bullard's journey as the first African-American combat pilot. Noel Godfrey. Delve into the interesting world of Noel Godfrey and see how he went from athlete to notable doctor. Then there's Henry Johnson. Understand his role and that of the Harlem Hellfighters in the war. Maria Hallett. Learn how Maria Hallett, a humble lighthouse keeper's daughter, became a beacon of hope and safety amidst the war. Nurse Helen Fairchild. Gain a deeper understanding of Nurse Helen Fairchild's selfless service on the Western Front. And Lance Corporal Albert Jacka. Discover the actions that led to Lance Corporal Albert Jacka becoming the recipient of Australia's first Victoria Cross. This journey highlights the indomitable spirit, unmatched bravery, and poignant humanity of individuals who, against overwhelming odds, became beacons of hope, inspiration, and valor in one of history's most tumultuous times. This is perfect to hear for those seeking to dig deeper under the surface of commonly known historical facts. First World War history often gets categorized into the actions of nations, heads of state, and institutions, but you seldom hear the names of the battlefield heroes who bravely put their all into achieving their ideals. World War I profoundly shaped the current society and laid the foundations for World War II. Furthermore, the first modern war redefined warfare in many ways. The war's global chess pieces, moved by powerful individuals, caused many people on the front lines and in pivotal positions to remain faceless and nameless. The grand narrative swallows their actions, but without their participation, the cogs of war did not spin. There were no clear good and bad guys in the First World War, which resulted from European nations competing for power. Millions of people needlessly died in a war that diplomatic efforts and sound reasoning could have avoided. Germany and Austria-Hungary are often mentioned as the main instigators of the war, but many interlocking and complex parts led to the first bombs being dropped. With the invention of aviation and the rapid advancement of weaponry technology, World War I was more devastating than any of the preceding wars. It was often called the war to end all wars, because it was the first time many nations worldwide were in active conflict. The leading players were the Entente powers, the Allies, which included France, Russia, Italy, the British Empire, and the United States, against the Central Powers, headed by the German Empire, the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, and the Ottoman Empire. World War I could be seen as a beginning of the end of the imperial age, as empires split into nation-states at the end of the war. It was the starting point of world governance as the League of Nations was established to facilitate global peace. However, this lofty goal was not achieved because Germany was forced to pay reparations for its financial support of Austria-Hungary at the start of the war, without which the conflict likely would not have commenced. This laid the foundation for World War II because the German economy collapsed and the Germans felt humiliated, which opened the doorway for a strong nationalistic leader to emerge.